What is up today, my More Squad? We are back with episode 25 of Talk More Sports, hosted by me, your main man, Hudson Moore. All right, y'all. It's been a fantastic weekend and a great Monday. And there's so much to talk about. So, with that being said, we're just going to dive right into it. All right, y'all? So, okay. Okay. Yesterday, Sunday, was a great day to be a Seattle sports native fan. Seattle Seahawks getting the win on the road in Jacksonville against the Jaguars. Let me tell you, I was a little worried about the secondary. I said this on my last show. I was a little worried about that secondary with Devin Witherspoon being out, with Julian Love, Tariq Woolen. I was like, man, with Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, they may have themselves a game, not going to lie. But boy, did that D line just step the F up. 7 sacks on Trevor Lawrence. 7 sacks. I mean, seriously. Byron Murphy getting 2 sacks. Demarcus Lawrence coming back from a quad injury having 2 sacks. Nuosu, Leonard Williams, Jeremy Reed all getting a piece as well. 7 sacks on Trevor Lawrence. The most sacks that Trevor Lawrence has had in total this season. He had more sacks on him that game than the first 5 games of the 2025 season for Jacksonville Jaguars. Seriously, the Seattle Seahawks D line, they stepped up when they needed to. And I said this on my last show too. They needed to. With DeMarcus Lawrence being back in the starting lineup, they needed to put all that pressure on Trevor Lawrence to give our secondary a good, legitimate chance. Now, obviously, the secondary still struggled a little bit. It shows that we still desperately need Devin Witherspoon, Tariq Woolen, and Julian Love. But boy, that defensive line looked fantastic. Byron Murphy, in his second year with the Seattle Seahawks, leading all defensive tackles. Miles Garrett, TJ Watt, all the greats right now. He's leading all in sacks right now with 4.5. He's having a great breakout second year. The kind of breakout year we were hoping he would have for his second year, especially because that was one of the biggest questions going into this season during the offseason. It was like, okay, as great of a defense we have, can our young rookie sensation Byron Murphy step up? Can he have a great second year, kind of like what Jackson Smith-Njigba had last season, 24? And boy, has he in 6 games, 4.5 sacks, leading sacks at a defensive tackle over again like Miles Garrett and TJ Watt, who are both former Defensive Player of the Years and future first ballot Hall of Famers. Yeah, seriously, Byron Murphy did a fantastic job. The defense looked fantastic. But we got to talk about the main man, Mr. Jackson Smith-Njigba, JSN, baby. 8 catches, 162 yards receiving, now leading the league in receiving yards. And got to pull up a quick little fun stat for Seattle Seahawks franchise. He now has the most receiving yards out of any Seahawks player ever in all-time history to start out the first 6 games of a season at 661 yards. No, excuse me, actually, 691 yards. And he surpassed Tyler Lockett, who broke that record 5 years ago in 2020. So again, JSN with 691 yards receiving in 6 games. He's 9 yards away from a 700-yard receiving season in just 6 games. Nearly. Are you kidding me? Jackson Smith-Njigba, if he isn't a first-team All-Pro by the end of this year, it's a little rigged. It really is. And don't get me wrong, there are other great receivers who are balling out, like Puka Nacua, right? George Pickens. Like, there are some good receivers, right? Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and Mekabua from Tampa Bay, who's even a rookie. Like, there's some great receivers. But what Jackson is on pace for this season, he has the potential to break Megatron, Calvin Johnson's single season receiving yards record. He actually has a chance. And when we think about Jackson Smith, right, a guy who ran a 4.5 in the 40-yard dash in the combine, right, 3 years ago. Because we look at some of the best receivers now, they run low 4.4s or 4.3s, some even 4.2s, right? So for Jackson to come out running a 4.5 and having these big time explosive plays, like he's leading the league in explosive plays, 20 plus yards in receiving. Like he's not that fast, but yet he is dominating on the explosive plays down the field, 20 plus yards or more. So what Jackson is doing is incredible, and Sam Darnold is cooking almost another repeated 300-yard passing game as well, with over 100 QBR rating again. Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith, their duo is legit. This honestly, when it's all said and done at the end of the season, this might be the best wide receiver and quarterback duo in this league. Seriously, after the season, it's fantastic. I am loving what I'm seeing from the Seattle Seahawks. Now again, I was, as I said before, I was a bit of a high from Clint Kubiak's play calling from last weekend when I was watching the Tampa Bay game, and I was like, I think they finally found their identity, right? And I had no problem with it. I had no concerns about the offense. I knew they were going to come out explosive, but it kind of went back to their old ways. If you know what I'm talking about, if you're listening on this channel right now, you know what I'm talking about. As a Seattle Seahawks fan, when we saw Clint Kubiak's play calling, how many times did we just freaking keep running the ball up the middle, or we keep running it the same play, or we keep running it on second, third, and long? And I'm like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Stop running the ball. There's Jackson Smith. There's Cooper Kupp. There's Torrey Horn. There's AJ Barner. Throw the freaking ball. Do you not trust Sam Darnold's passing game? Like, I'm just trying to figure it out. Because also think about this: Jacksonville doesn't have the best secondary. They really don't. And they may have 14 takeaways, most in the NFL right now, and that's good. But that doesn't mean their secondary is still great, though, right? Like, if it's a good secondary, like if it's a hard, strong secondary, like Philadelphia Eagles, Detroit Lions, like if it's a secondary like that, then yeah, let's try to get the run game established, so then we can be more versatile and then use our explosive passing plays. But if we don't have a good secondary, throw the freaking ball. Throw the ball. What are you worried? Do you not trust Sam Darnold? So I was a little worried because looking at the final score was 20-13, if I remember correctly. Honestly, that should have been a 30+13 win. There's no reason why we should have won by. Oh no, sorry, excuse me. It was 12-20. Yeah, 12-20. There's no reason why it should have been an 8-point game. There's no reason. We should have been up by 3 or more touchdowns. 100%. 150%. So it annoyed me a little bit to see that, but it was still a great game. Great job by the defense. Oh my God. When we get that secondary back, when we get Devin and Julian Tariq back, well, especially Devin and Julian, if you know what I mean. Oh my God, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And it's going to be a big matchup going up against the Texans this weekend at home in Seattle. Because even though the Texans look a little rocky, I won't count them out. They still got a great, solid defense. So hopefully Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith can continue that great connection they have. And hopefully, the defense doesn't let CJ Stroud and Nico Collins and Nick Chubbs have themselves a game. So, we got to lock in. And also, we got to take back home field advantage, yo. We can't be this great away. Oh, and also think about this. We have 9 straight away wins. 9 straight. That is a new franchise record and currently leading right now in the NFL with the most consecutive victory away games. So great job. Mike McDonald knows how to get it done away, no matter where it is. Awesome. I love that. But let's take that same mentality and same approach and put it into home field advantage. We're one of the best fans in the league, one of the best stadiums in the league, one of the best everything in the league. Like, let's bring this whole home field advantage back. So let's get this win against the Texans. This is a big win. This is a huge win if we get this. Right now, 4-2, number 2 in the NFC West. Let's go 5-2. Let's do it. So again, I'm loving what I'm seeing from Seahawks, but Clint Kubiak's gotta get better at those play calling. Because seriously, I feel like he's just undermining what they can potentially do. Not a whole lot, but I'm still seeing little parts of it, especially from that Jacksonville game. So again, great job from the defense. Can't wait to see when Devin and Julian get back in the lineup. Hopefully, Clint Kubiak can do better on the play calling, because if so, we'll know what that will happen for any other team or any other defense that will go up against us. We're just going to torch them. We're just going to light them the F up. So, again, I love what I saw. But can we just talk about the Mariners for a sec? Yesterday was game 1 of the ALCS against the Toronto Blue Jays in Toronto. Final score, 3-1. This is a team that averages over 8 or more runs a game. By all analytics, by everybody, one of the best offense in the league, one of the best offenses in the league, 100%. And just today, we beat them 10-3. So for a team that averages 8 or more runs, right? We have kept them a total of 4 runs in just 2 games. Back to back, baby. Getting back to back away wins in Toronto. The team that everybody thought they were going to smoke us, we got the first two wins in their territory. And we kept them to under 4 or less runs. They have a total of 4 runs in these two games. Oh my, what I'm seeing from this Mariner squad is unbelievable. Yesterday, Bryce Miller holding it down to only 1 run. And think about it, that 1 run was the very first pitch Bryce Miller threw in the, what was it, the bottom of the first. Bottom of the first, his very first pitch, and it was a home run. Since then, not a single run after. The very first pitch of the game, that was a home run after that. Nothing else. And then today, Toronto looked like they were out for revenge after yesterday's loss, getting a couple runs in the first and second inning, but we just shut them out completely after the third inning. Completely. And Jorge Polanco, Julio Rodriguez, these guys are stepping up when they need to. And Cal Raleigh, again, yesterday getting 62 home runs. And like I said today, Jorge Polanco, Julio Rodriguez just getting a couple home runs. Like everybody's just contributing in such a great way. Our pitching is getting healthy. They're looking great. I'm waiting to see when Brian Wu comes back because not only do we got Logan Gilbert, Bryce Miller, and George Kirby, we're still missing Brian Wu, and our pitching lineup looks unstoppable. So I can't wait to see when Brian comes back. But the offense, our batting right now, is just unbelievable. It's great. I am loving what I'm seeing from our batters right now. Seriously, Randy stepped up a little better. Naylor, I think Naylor got a home run, didn't? Yeah, Naylor got a home run as well today. Yeah, Josh Naylor as well. Suarez looking good. Cal again, like God, this team is looking fantastic. First two games, and we sweep them in their home territory. Now on Wednesday, we go back to Seattle with a chance, with an actual legitimate chance to sweep them in the ALCS. And also, quick little fun fact, this is now the most wins we've ever had in an ALCS series. The most we've ever had was one win, and that was against the New York Yankees back in 2001, the last time we played them. Or, no, excuse me, the last time we played in the ALCS. And then fast forward 24 years later, we now have more wins than any ALCS we've ever been to. And it's against a team that everybody thought they were just going to run right over us, put up 8 or more runs, and it was just going to be an easy show for them. But boy, did they respond. Did the Mariners freaking respond. And now an actual chance to go back home and sweep them. Can you all just imagine for a sec if the Mariners actually sweep Toronto and they win Game 4 on Thursday? Can you just imagine if they sweep them and win Game 4 on Thursday? I've talked about this so many times on my channel. I never really thought ever in my lifetime I would ever be on this platform, on any social media content, and talking about the Seattle Mariners potentially going to the World Series just 2 games away. I truly never thought I would be in this moment right here around this time of the year in October thinking about, wow, of all the years the Mariners have been so crap. They are literally 2 wins away from their first ever World Series appearance. Again, the only major league team in all of baseball that has yet to make a World Series appearance, the only team left, and they are now just 2 games away from their first ever. And it's really just like, it's a privilege almost. Because again, I've said I'm not the biggest baseball or Mariners fan. I'm okay to admit that. I truly am. But I am still a diehard Seattle sports native. I'm still always going to root for the Mariners. I'm still always going to root for the Sounders, the Storm, the Sonics when they come back. I mean, because again, I always be a true diehard Seahawks fan till my last day. Green and blue will always run through my vein and nothing else. But the Mariners, though, they always did have a look, like just a little something, a little spark in my heart where I'm just like, as much as I don't watch them, every time I do watch them, I always enjoy it. Whether they lose or win, or they have a great game or terrible game, I enjoy it actually. Like there's something about it where it's just like a home run, um, an 0-3 count, like just something just about it, or a double run play, or just something. It's just like, huh, that was cool. Like even though it just lasted for like 10, 15 seconds, like that's cool. Like that's awesome. Let's see more of this. So yeah, just it's a privilege being in my lifetime because I remember my grandparents, my parents telling me like back in their time when watching the great Mariner teams of like Ken Griffey Jr., Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, Dan Wilson, all those greats, like how amazing they were, how much fun they were to watch, and they were always so close but never able to reach the top or at least to appearance of a World Series. And the fact that I'm here 22 years old and they are 2 wins away from that. They are 2 wins away from that vision. From that actual moment where I get to look back 40, 50 plus years later and be like, I actually got to see the Seattle Mariners go to their first ever World Series. Of all the great players and teams they've had in the past, they've never made it. But I got to watch this team though. First ever in my generation, my lifetime. I could say I've watched the Mariners make it to their first World Series appearance. So I really hope they continue this momentum. Seriously, Wednesday is going to be an insane game in Seattle. The craziness is going to be over the top, but I cannot wait to see it. It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for this Mariners team. I'm so excited. Let's sweep them. Let's put the cherry on top and sweep. Let's just do it. You know what I mean? Let's just try it. I'm so excited for that game. So excited for those next 2 games on Wednesday and Thursday. It's going to be so much fun. I want to thank to everybody out there for listening, watching. Hit that like button. Comment down below. What's your thoughts and feelings if you're a Seahawks fan or a Mariners fan? How are you feeling about these two teams? Because hey, they're on a hot streak right now. Like they're looking good. It's fun right now being a Seattle Sports Native fan. So comment down below. What's your thoughts and feelings? And hey, subscribe down below. Get these subscribers up. Follow my journey in the world of sports media and everything I have to show and more. And with that being said, we'll be back more next time.